Good morning. Welcome to Sonoma State University's commencement ceremony. The processional will begin in 5 minutes. Will everyone please be seated? Please take your seats as quickly as possible and clear the aisles so the processional may begin. The program will give you more detailed information about today's ceremonies. However, there are some matters for which we especially need the help and cooperation of you, our audience. First, photographs. You are welcome to take photographs from your seat. However, please be considerate of those around you, and please do not stand in the aisles or enter this area in front of the platform. We also ask, if you are planning to use a tripod, that you wait to set the tripod up until you are ready to take the picture. Tripods left up unnecessarily can be hazardous to our graduates and guests as they walk around the venue. Also remember that professional photographers will be taking 2 separate photographs, one each from different vantage points of every graduate as diplomas are presented. Graduates will have an opportunity to see digital proofs via email and may purchase copies of the photographs as desired. Second, cell phones. Now is a good time to turn off your cell phone and other personal electronic devices before the ceremony begins. Third, the recessional. When the recessional begins, please remain in your seats, and remain in your seats until all the graduates have left the commencement area. Your cooperation in this regard will allow the recessional to proceed smoothly and quickly. You may meet your graduates in the Central Campus Quad area or at the school receptions after the recessional. Please do not stop them along their way. Our ceremony lasts 2.5 to 3 hours. So I want to point out to you the map in the commencement program which you received when you came in. Locations for the accessible restroom facilities, food locations, and building locations are on that map. Finally, I would like to point out to you the location of our American Sign Language interpreters to the left of the stage. They will be here signing the entire ceremony to assist those who are hearing impaired. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sonoma State Professor Emeritus, Dr. Martha Yates, who will announce the call to procession as she plays on bagpipes a composition that she wrote in honor of Sonoma State University's commencement, the Graduation Fanfare.
Good morning. I'm Ben Ford, Chair of the Sonoma State Faculty, and it is my great honor to welcome you to your Sonoma State University 2012 Commencement. Would the banner carriers please place the heraldic banners in their stands? Now would everyone please be seated. It's my pleasure to introduce our student musician today. Emily Sample will perform America the Beautiful. Thank you, Emily, for opening today's commencement ceremonies. It's now my pleasure to introduce the president of Sonoma State University, Dr. Ruben Armiñana.
Good morning. I am pleased to add my welcome to that given by Professor Ford on behalf of the faculty and staff of Sonoma State University, many of whom are present today to share in this celebration. As you know, presidents get blamed for lots of things, but I'm going to take credit today for Saint Isidore, the patron saint of weather, to have taken my collect call and giving you, all of us, a very nice day. Saint Isidore appreciates your applause. This year's graduates number approximately 2,200. About 1,000 of you are participating in the ceremony this morning for the School of Science and Technology and the School of Social Sciences. A like number will participate in a ceremony later today for the School of Arts and Humanities, the School of Business and Economics, and the School of Education. You will be joining the more than 53,000 students who have completed a master's or bachelor's degree at Sonoma State University since our first commencement back in 1962. None of you were even thought about being born in 1962, as your parents probably were not, knew each other at that time. You come from many states and many countries, which are represented by the various flags that you see flying behind me, although the majority of you are from the state of California. Today, you celebrate an achievement in common, the award of a master's or bachelor's degree. To all of you, the graduates of 2012, welcome to your commencement. We want to welcome the families and friends of our graduates. You can all share in the happiness and pride of our graduates on this great occasion because each of you has played some part in their great success. I would like to take a moment as we begin this commencement ceremony to invite the graduates to stand and acknowledge their parents and grandparents, children, spouses, significant others, brothers and sisters and friends for their help and support. We're pleased to have on our platform today several very distinguished guests, which I'm going to name for you. Please welcome Mr. Henry Mendoza, who is a California State University trustee. He understands and embraces the special mission of the CSU and is committed to helping ensure high-quality academic programming for our students. Past honorary degree recipient Jeannie Schultz, who received her honorary doctorate in 1994. She's the mother of Snoopy. She's committed to education through her continued leadership and community services. The Alumni Association, which forms one of our graduates' most important links with the alma mater, is represented by the Vice President of the Association, Mr. Vincent Cortesi. Vincent? Vincent and the Alumni Association work tirelessly to bring value and to provide programs and services to more of our 53,000 students, and I urge you, all of you, to join the Alumni Association. I would like to acknowledge university officials and others in the platform party who are here today to honor you, our graduates. You will find their names and titles on page 18 of your commencement program. I would also like to acknowledge our distinguished faculty who are here today to participate in this very important ceremony. The names of our faculty can be found starting on page 54 of your program. Please also join me in recognizing the almost 200 members of the Sonoma State University staff whose dedication and hard work have made this ceremony possible. Thank you to you. I would like now to invite Trustee Mendoza from the California State University to greet our graduates.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you for having me to this beautiful campus. You know, we have 23 campuses, and they're all distinct and beautiful. So this is my first time here, and this is just a wonderful place. It's a great honor to share this special day with the newest graduates of Sonoma State University, families and friends of the graduates, and the faculty and staff of this excellent university. I'm delighted to bring you greetings and congratulations on behalf of Chancellor Reed, the trustees, and the California State University system. Graduates, you truly represent the best hopes of the state of California. This spring, more than 90,000 out of 400,000 students that we have in our system, you CSU graduates will be moving on from their alma maters to enter into professional and graduate schools or directly into the workforce of this great state. Together you are a cause for great optimism of our future. The state of California is counting on your skills, your knowledge, your creativity, and the dedication that you've shown in working successfully toward the degrees that you will receive today. We know that you will not disappoint. As a citizen and a member of our community, continue to support the CSU, especially now, by showing others how earning a college degree can be the most important step for a brighter future. As a graduate of CSU, be an ambassador of our system. Let your friends, colleagues, especially our legislature, the community, know how important the CSU has been to you and how they can join you in keeping the doors of opportunity open for others by supporting the California State University. Absolutely. I am a graduate of the Cal State University system also, so this means very much, it means a lot to me. As graduates of Sonoma State University, you receive not only a deep and strong education in your major fields, but an appreciation and understanding of the value of liberal arts, sciences that are the basis of for a rewarding personal life and career. You are very fortunate to have attended such a fine institution. You have worked hard and you deserve the degrees that will be conferred upon you today. Again, on behalf of the trustees of the California State University system, the Chancellor, I congratulate you on your achievement and wish you every success as you leave this great school. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Mendoza. I would now like to invite Associated Student Senator Katie Havens to greet the graduates. I had the pleasure of working with Ms. Havens this year. I know that she's worked very closely with all of you and has addressed several issues very important to the campus community.
Thank you, Dr. Ford. Welcome graduates, students, parents, and friends to the 2012 Sonoma State Commencement. On this beautiful day, I would like to congratulate these approximately 1,000 graduates on their final step in their Sonoma State experience. As your Senator of Statewide Issues of the Associated Students, it was my pleasure to represent you this year and welcome you to graduation on behalf of President Alex Boyer. I am so excited this day has finally come and would like to thank, and I'm sure my classmates can join me in this, our parents, family, friends, professors, and mentors for not only joining us here today, but supporting us, guiding us, and even putting up with us through our sometimes crazy journey through college. I have been walking by this commencement lawn for 4 years and am so excited that I'm finally here at my own commencement. The ups and downs are all worth it today as we get to walk across this stage and graduate. We've made mistakes, I'm sure my parents can attest to that. We have learned from our classmates, professors, and everyone we met during our time here. And we are hopefully leaving with more than a degree, but the best experience of our lives. In true Harry Potter nerd fashion, I will quote J.K. Rowling and say that it's impossible to live without failing at something unless you live so cautiously that you might as well have not lived at all, in which case you failed by default. So congratulations to us for making mistakes, learning on the way, overcoming all the obstacles, and working so hard to be able to celebrate our accomplishments and graduate today. On behalf of the other 8,500 fellow students not here, we want to wish you the best of luck and happiness in your future aspirations. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. I would now like to introduce our student speaker, Amber Coyne. Amber grew up outside of Los Angeles in Santa Clarita Valley. She's passionate about many things, including working with children, molecular cell biology, Thai food, gender socialization, and of course her beloved Shih Tzu, Suki. Amber plans to pursue her master's in public health as well as her MD to become a pediatrician. Please join me in welcoming Amber Coyne.
Yeah.
A year ago, I I was sitting back there on those shiny silver bleachers, patiently anticipating my friends' names to be called, so as they walked across the stage, I could scream obnoxiously at the top of my lungs in a true sorority girl fashion. While they were all incredible speakers with many great things to say, I realized that in essence, they were really just talking about their journey and the true hopes that their experiences would be similar to others in the audience. And for many, I'm sure it resonated. But this day is about so much more than just one person or a group of people. It is about each and every one of us. That's when I got a kind of wonderful idea. What if instead of thinking I could touch people by telling my story, I simply just asked my fellow graduate what their story was. Then I could compile their responses into one speech. I could craft a story about the collective experience about the class of 2012. My curiosity was sparked. I anxiously awaited for the school to announce when commencement speaker applications were due. Then I set my plan into motion. I created an online anonymous survey consisting of 18 questions. Some were funny, others inspirational, a few just plain ridiculous, and many reflective. I sent out my story through my survey through the almighty powerful Facebook, and then I waited. I really had no idea what to expect. Would I reach the class of 2012? If I did, would the students even respond at all? Indeed, they did. I was shocked by the responses I got. I am honored to be graduating alongside a group of such vibrant, intelligent, inspired, and accomplished students. But enough about me. Let's talk about all of you. When asked what is the first word that comes to mind when you reflect on your college experience, just one word, the class of 2012 responded with such words as priceless, enrich, challenging, life-changing, hyphenated, fantabulous, educational, amazing, and unforgettable. Some of those people who have helped shape those words are the same people that sit beside me, the educators of Sonoma State University. As one student so eloquently remarked, Sonoma has proven to be a place where I don't just read textbooks all day, but a place where knowledge really blossoms. So naturally, I asked, what teacher at SSU has most inspired you and why? Part of me expected that there would be some overwhelming consensus and the same few teachers would be mentioned several times, but that was not the case. I think that this fact speaks volumes to the quality of education we have received here. There are not just a few great teachers, but many in every department. But it wasn't the variety of teachers mentioned that was so beautiful about this question, but the reasons behind them. I read things including, he's enthusiastic, professional, and friendly. He welcomes all ideas in his class and demands that we do nothing less. And she is so passionate about the topic of sociology and so well established, it's hard to not idolize her. Another student remarked, he really does care about my future education and profession. He has believed in me as a student and as an individual. Although I didn't know it at the time, meeting him shaped the beginnings of the rest of my life. So thank you, Sonoma State faculty, for all that you have done for us, for inspiring us, for pushing us, for educating us, and for believing in us. And on the topic of giving thanks, I just had to ask, who is the one person you would like to thank for supporting you during your college experience? Of course, as I expected, the overwhelming consensus was all of you sitting back there on those bleachers, the parents, remarking such things as, my parents, they were always there for me, and my parents for spending all that cash on me. And in special honors of Mother's Day tomorrow, I'd like to thank the mothers in particular, as many students specifically cited you. One said, my mother, for always supporting me and believing in me even when I didn't. Thank you for always being our biggest fan, our shoulder to cry on, and oftentimes, as in my case, our greatest inspiration. And of course, all the questions I asked weren't so serious. Probably the most ridiculous question of the entire survey also had some of the most entertaining answers. That question being, if you had to choose between being a toucan or a penguin, which would you choose and why? I didn't really care so much as to which they would choose. I was more so curious as to what their reasoning would be. As college students, we are trained to reason through any question, no matter how ridiculous or abstract, and give a thoughtful response. That principle really shows here. I would choose a toucan. The power play cannot be overlooked in this comparison. Penguin. They have a partner for life, no matter what. That's pretty inspirational. Toucan. I'm a very colorful person with a bright personality, so the awesomely colorful beak of a toucan is just more my style. Plus, I could fly and eat Fruit Loops. Penguin, because of how classy they look and their permanent tuxedos. Now, the question that sparks the most heated responses was by far, how do you really feel about the Sonoma aroma? Thank you for the many laughs as I read your responses, but due to the explicit nature of 90% of what you had to say, I will not be quoting most of you. However, I did find that one individual had a very positive and level-headed response. It's annoying, but it's a small price to pay for all the wonderful things about our campus. Very true indeed. My laughs continued as I read your responses to, what is one thing you think only happens at SSU? The two most popular answers revolved around, one, the campus-wide mourning of the beloved Rodney the Rooster, with a preceding memorial service and tribute video. There were even Remember the Rodney bracelets for sale and a circulating petition to name him our new mascot. You are one missed rooster. And of course, number two, dun dun dun, the 60-day. Yeah, every college student's nightmare and every local's guarantee of 60 days of peace and quiet. Some people's trash is really other people's treasure. But two other quite comical responses included getting stuck in traffic, ... behind a golf cart. And the guys are overly cocky due to the ratio of men to women on campus and are just ill-prepared for real-world rejection. So take heed, men, the real world will not be as in your favor. The 60-40 ratio will definitely be something that you miss. As for things that you will not miss, there seemed to be an overwhelming consensus regarding two issues. One being the mystery meat on campus. Is it chicken? Is it beef? Nobody's really sure, but it won't be missed. And two, parking, for several cited reasons. Need I say more? But when asked about things you will miss about Sonoma State University, most of you emphasized the beautiful campus, the friendships formed, the incredible people you have met here, the inspiring staff, and the hands-on field experience. One student sums it up perfectly. The experience of walking someplace on campus and running into at least 10 friends along the way. The academic and social benefits I received here create a very long list that is difficult to summarize. I will miss everything. Everything. When asked, what is an achievement you're most proud of accomplished during your college experience, I read so many incredible answers, but for time's sake, I will only share with you three. One student said, I'm beyond proud of myself for getting into graduate school. Being from a small school, I didn't think I would get into a strong program, but I am going to the University of Wisconsin-Madison to do cancer biology research. And I couldn't be more excited or proud. One clearly ambitious student said, graduating in 3 years. Props to you. Don't worry, fifth years, and Mike Riley. We just took our time. And finally, graduating in general. After serving in the Marine Corps for 8 years and serving multiple tours of duty overseas, I didn't know that I was ever going to give college another shot. And here I am, graduating. I'm very proud of myself. Let's give a round of applause for all these incredible accomplishments and for the unlisted accomplishments of each and every one of you out there in that audience. there is no doubt that we are an incredible group of students. These answers really set the tone for my last question. Will our generation change the world? Why or why not? The overwhelming consensus was not only that we will, but that we have to. One student said, I think our generation was put in a tough position. We've come into the world at a time where the amount of destruction that has already been done by the humans before us is irreversible. While it's overwhelming to keep up with all that is crumbling around us, what I do see is that our generation cares. Another student declared, we've grown up in a very special time, where one person's thoughts can cause a movement. Each of us has that power, and together I have a feeling we are going to be an indestructible force. This day marks the first step in the rest of our lives. The things we have accomplished here, the friendships we have made, the lessons we have learned have shaped us into more powerful beings than we are even aware of. We will walk forward from Sonoma State today with an education, a new era of confidence, best friends, incredible memories. As one graduate said, what is my best memory? It's a compilation of midnight laughter, 1,000 smiles, whispered talks during classes, walking a million miles through campus, several days worth of movie marathons, and one too many sipped cupcakes. Keep those memories with you. Always remember your journey here as it has led you to the person that you are. And in closing, I will read you a few of the quotes submitted by the class of 2012. Let these words of your peers spoken today serve you in your future endeavors. Live simply so that others may simply live. Gandhi. Leadership requires confidence, tempered with humility, and courage blended with tolerance. Carolee Stannard. And for all you Harry Potter fans, I give you the most quoted individual submitted by the class of 2012, Albus Dumbledore. It is our choices that show who we are far more than our abilities. In closing, I leave you with some advice of my own. You will learn far more from your failures than you will ever learn from your successes. So be not afraid to fail. At some point in your life, everything is going to feel like it has fallen apart. And it won't be easy, but this is when you will find out who you truly are. Those will be the days that you discover a strength you never knew you had. It is not how long you are down, but it is how you get back up that truly matters. Always play Eye of the Tiger on the way to an interview. And remember to be both fabulous and fearless. And if all else fails, remember that according to the National Association of College and Employers, companies plan to hire roughly 10.2% more college graduates from the class of 2012 than they did from the class of 2011. So, it's not that bad. Congratulations, class of 2012. We did it.
Thank you, Amber. That was very good. It was a great and inspiring message. We're honored to have our speaker today, award-winning writer, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill. He was a columnist and editor-at-large for the Philadelphia Daily News. He also provides regular commentary for CNN and MSNBC. Dr. Hill is the host of the nationally syndicated TV show TV One. In 2001, Dr. Hill started a literacy project that uses hip-hop culture to increase school engagement and reading skills among high school students. He was here before and spoke to the students, and they liked it so much that the associated students decided to bring him back. And it was through their efforts and support that he's here today as your commencement speaker. Please, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill.
Good morning, everybody. You all right? You graduated. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on. I figure someone would have broke out a beach ball by now. It's coming, right? Something, okay. I've just been corrected. I understand now. It is really an honor to be here today, to be able to address you all on what really is one of the most important days in your lives. There we go. You stand corrected, sir. I'm a bad influence, I know. It's truly an honor to be here on such a special day in your lives and the lives of your families. It is no small achievement to do what you all have done, what you all are doing today. You all are long-distance runners. You all are people who, for the last 4 or 5 or more years, have committed yourselves to rigorous study, deep engagement with faculty ideas, deep engagement with your own ideas, late study sessions, the occasional party. And over those 4 years, you've grown and you've learned and you've developed and you've finally made it just about across this stage to earn the degree at one of the most special, one of the most committed, one of the most rigorous institutions in the United States. Sonoma State. I hope you all understand how special this place is. Now, as a graduation speaker, I know y'all ain't really come to hear me talk. That's the thing about it. It's the one time when you come to speak and nobody actually wants to hear you talk. They actually were waiting for you to finish. I know y'all want to go celebrate and party, hit the club, drink. But I was talking to your parents. Yes, the locks have been changed as we speak, just so you know. But seriously though, this really is a special class. The class of 2012. In so many ways, you all are a special cohort in so many ways because you all are emerging at a moment where the world itself is changing, where we have tremendous sights of progress. In the last 7 days alone, we've seen the national landscape change. In the last 5 days alone, we've had a president come out and make a radical statement on the world. You all are graduating right into the throes of a moment and a movement in which America itself is growing up. Over the last 4 years, we have seen America change and grow in ways that have expanded opportunity and expanded possibility. We've seen the nation, and I don't mean on a partisan level, I mean all of us, Democrats, Republicans, black, white. We've all been able to help push the nation in a new direction. We've all been able to inspire ourselves and each other in ways that make the nation safer, that make the nation more productive, that create new possibilities that inspire all of us. This is a very, very special moment. We live in a nation that doesn't just grow old, but also grows up. And that feels real good. It's actually really awesome feeling to know just how much is possible for us as a community, us as a class, us as a nation. But class of 2012, I didn't come here to just make you feel good about yourselves. I'm sorry. I'm sure y'all have plenty of time for that later. At the same time that we admire our progress as a nation, at the same time that we admire our growth as a community, at the same time that we look at what is in front of us with a great sense of purpose and hope and pride, class of 2012, you are also born in a moment that needs you more than ever. You're born into a moment that does have an expanded middle class, but also has more poor people than ever. You're born into a moment where there are millions of Americans who work hard every day and the month lasts longer than their money. Some of them are faculty here at Sonoma State. greatest technology, the greatest ideas, and yet at the very same time, we can't find a way to not have 20, 30, 40% of our nation's children going to bed hungry every night. We can be at a fancy campus like this and drive 50, 60, 70 minutes to Oakland and see places where people have to go 4 and 5 miles for fresh fruit and vegetables. We call them food deserts. We live in a world where corporate greed tends to trump the public good. We live in a state, well, I live in Pennsylvania, but it isn't much better. We live in states where education budgets are being cut at the knees. Don't clap for that. Like, yeah! But we live in a nation where education budgets are being cut down at the knees at the same time that we have a rapid expansion of prisons. We're building first-class jails and second-class schools. We live in a nation where women still work harder for less money. I know this isn't exactly a motivational speech. But my point is that the world still needs our help. The world still needs your commitment. The world still needs you to engage it in a way that will make it different and better. But the good news is you all have the power. You all have the capacity. You all have the tools. You will have the ability to make the changes that we need. The question becomes, how do we do that? I don't know. As a college professor, my job is to ask a lot of questions. I don't necessarily always have answers. But what I have just a bit of, perhaps, are some tools that we could use in a little bit of time that I'm going to be up here to help us think through how the class of 2012 can change the world. The first thing that you have to do, class of 2012, is listen carefully. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. Not just to me. Y'all don't have much choice at the moment. But to each other. You must listen to each other. You must listen to ideas. You must listen to people. You must listen to traditions. You must listen to perspectives that are different than yours. We live in a nation that doesn't have a lot of listening. We have a lot of talk. We have 24-hour cable news. I spent the last 5 years working at Fox News on the visiting team. There's no shortage of MSNBC and Fox News and CNN. There's no shortage of TV networks that talk. There's 24-hour cable news. There's 24-hour satellite. Everybody has a blog. Everybody has a Facebook page. Everybody has a YouTube account. Everybody had MySpace before it died. There were so many, sorry about that, MySpace. There's so much opportunity. There's so much space for talk. But there's a difference between a lot of people talking and actually having a conversation. There's a difference between listening and simply being quiet until the other person's done talking so you can say what you were going to say anyway. Listening requires something different. Listening requires a kind of humility. Listening requires the belief that somebody else has something to offer, even if they come in a package that you may not expect. Listening means that people who don't have the benefit of graduating from Sonoma State, but who may just be a domestic worker, might be the deacon at your church, it might be your grandmama, might be your stepmom, might be your baby mama. But all of them have something to offer. We must be committed to listening even when it's difficult. See, we all like to listen when people tell us what we want to hear. When you ask your girlfriend, how do I look in this dress? Are you really prepared for the answer? Do you really think I can get girls when the ratio is not 60 to 40? Are you ready for the answer, sir? also requires that we listen to the next generation of young people. See, right now you all are still young. You're 18 and you're 19 and you're 20 and you're 21 and you're 22 and you're 23 and you're still considered young, but what's going to happen 10 years from now? You have to be, I know some of y'all like, nah, I wish I was still 21, 22, 23. But you have to be willing to listen to the next generation. What your parents have been telling you for the last 2 decades of your lives is to listen, not because they know everything, but because they want you to make new mistakes. Don't keep making the same old mistakes. If we listen to elders, we don't have to recreate the wheel. We don't have to make the same mistakes, but also older folk, grown folk, parents, we must also be committed to listening to young people. And as you young people become elders, as you become parents, you have to be willing to believe that young people have something to offer. Because every moment in our nation's history that we've had growth, that we've had expansion, that we've developed, it's been when we've listened to the voices of young people. It was young people that encouraged the last economic boom, that created the internet, and that created the last sort of bastion of economic hope for our nation. It was young people that taught us to occupy. It's young people that continue to scream down to us, we need you. And as you all become older, I don't want you to fall into the trap of forgetting what it means to listen deeply and carefully. But if you want to listen deeply and carefully, you must do the second thing, and that is to remember truthfully. You must be committed to remember truthfully. That means you must remember the past as it was. We live in a nation, as Andres Hussein says, that lives in what he calls the great time paradox. What does that mean? It means, on the one hand, America loves to remember stuff. Our nation is obsessed with remembering stuff. We built more museums and mausoleums in the last 30 years than at any moment in human history. You go to Burger King and McDonald's, you get the commemorative placemat on your hamburger. We get a kind of instant nostalgia. You have TV shows like Best Week Ever. You watch Jersey Shore or Real Housewives of New Jersey or Real Housewives of Atlanta, and they have the reunion episode a week after the show is over. We love to remember stuff. But at the very same time that this nation has been committed to remembering, we are also obsessed with forms of forgetting. We like to forget our pain. We like to forget our collective traumas. We like to forget the ways in which we have come from a past that is often dark. I don't believe that we should wallow in the misery or pain of the past, but we can never truly appreciate the present or imagine the future if we don't come to terms with our past. You see, that isn't just a collective project, it's also an individual project, because many of you, your parents, engaged in that same kind of nostalgia. They lied to you. I'll tell you now, because you graduate, your parents been lying to you. Yes, son, I never cut class. I went to all my classes. In fact, I stayed later to go to some of my friends' classes as well. I waited until I was 24 to have my first drink. I waited until I was married to go on vacation. And what we do in our attempts to create idyllic memories of the past is to create something that you all can live up to. Your parents aren't lying to you just for lying's sake. I mean, some of them are, but most of them are lying to you not because they want to deceive you, but because they want you to imagine the past in such a perfect form that you feel like you have a tradition to live up to, and that's cool. But we have to send the message that the past was never perfect. Individually, the past was never perfect. The great thing about this country, the great thing about this community, the great thing about the human experience is that you don't have to be perfect to be useful. That your past can be messy, but you can leave this graduation with a new sense of purpose. You can leave this graduation with a new sense of hope. As a nation, we can remember our collective wounds. We can remember our wounds of sexism or racism or homophobia, but we don't have to be prisoner to it. We can grow. We never have to be prisoner to a moment or an event. We can always move beyond that, but we must remember that we must come to years, but we can't forget what it meant to stand here in May of 1962, Sonoma State. We all now celebrate our collective growth, and we all admire great figures like Martin Luther King, but in 1962, Martin Luther King Jr. couldn't speak here. In 1968, Martin Luther King Jr. couldn't get a speaking engagement. He didn't make People Magazine's most admired Americans list. Martin Luther King Jr. When he died in 1968, couldn't be on the board of trustees at his own alma mater at Morehouse College because they said Martin Luther King Jr. was a bad influence on young people. They said he went to jail too much. I mean, he wasn't T.I., he wasn't Lil Wayne, he wasn't Lindsay Lohan. He was going to jail with moral authority, yet at the moment, he made a commitment to truth that rendered him unpopular. We as a nation, we as a community, we as a class of 2012 have to remember that oftentimes we like to whitewash the past, but in the past, people who told the truth, people who fight for what's right, people who have the courage to lead are often seen as bad guys. They're often rendered marginal in the past, and it's only in the future that history redeems them. Why am I telling you that, class? I'm telling you that because I don't want you to just remember truthfully. I also want you to be committed to doing this other thing, and that is act bravely. You must be committed to act bravely. You must be willing to roll up your sleeves and fight for that which is right, even when it is difficult, even when you're going to be rendered unpopular. To act bravely is to make a commitment to truth and justice that is bigger than you. To act bravely is to leave this stage, to leave this graduation, and make a commitment to making the world better today. To act bravely is to leave this with a commitment to helping somebody who's less fortunate. To act bravely doesn't mean that you don't take your business degree or your pre-med degree and pursue your own career, but that you never become obsessed with success over greatness. That you never privilege wealth over justice. That you never privilege fame over purpose. To act bravely is to go out into the world and tell painful truths, not just the other side. It was easy for me to go on Fox News and argue with Bill O'Reilly when he let me talk. But what does it mean for me to talk to people on my own side of the aisle and tell them that they are wrong? It's easy for me to go to a Bush war rally. What does it mean for me to go and protest Obama for the same war? It's easy for me to challenge a Republican for buying our corporations, but what does it mean for me to challenge the president for giving the same welfare check to corporations? To act bravely is to have an almost promiscuous sense of indignation for that which is wrong, for that which is unjust, for that which is unfair. You must be committed, whatever your beliefs are. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, Protestant, Catholic. I don't care what your beliefs are. To act bravely is to tell the truth at all times to the world because the world needs it so desperately. To act bravely is to never let the conversation about changing the world structurally stop us from being responsible, from taking individual responsibility for our communities, for our families, for our nations. We must be collectively responsible. No one has the market closed on responsibility. We all can be responsible. We can all act bravely by raising our children, by cleaning up our community, by protecting our environment, by safeguarding our borders responsibly. We can do this work if we act bravely. But then we must do one more thing, two more really, and that is we must discern wisely, family. You must be willing to ask different questions. You see, you go to college, you get your degree, and if you get the proper education, you don't walk away learning how merely to answer questions. You also walk away learning how to question the answers. You walk away learning to say that these simple answers cannot solve complex questions. You, as you graduate from Sonoma State, say, I will never rely on simple answers. If I want a simple answer, I'd have went to San Francisco State. I'd have went to Stanford. Y'all made better decisions. And as a result, you are prepared to turn simple answers into complex questions. Don't ever let anybody tell you that the nation is filled with poor people because poor people just don't work hard. Don't let anybody tell you that women don't make as much at their jobs because they don't want it bad enough. Never let anybody tell you that the environment is disposable. We can't do that. We must turn simple answers into complex questions. We must ask what it means for a nation to have 250,000 people incarcerated at the first commencement of Sonoma State. And now, in 2012, we have 2.5 million people incarcerated. We have to ask that question. The simple answer is we created a generation of criminals. The simple answer is we created a generation of slow runners. People just can't get away from the cops. But you, as graduates in 2012, have to turn those simple answers into a complex question about criminal justice or injustice. You all can't assume that people who got their homes foreclosed were just all irresponsible and all just wanted more house than they could afford. You have to ask questions not just about individual responsibility, which is important and necessary, but about predatory lending. What about deregulation? You got to ask those questions. You have to ask why it is that a girl from the age of 5 years old or 10 years old gets assaulted on the street, gets harassed on the street, and we've somehow normalized it. We have to ask what it means for us not to care about women enough in this nation. We have to ask that question. You must turn simple answers into complex questions and then put those questions squarely in the laps of people in power. No, that doesn't mean that you have to quit your job and become a full-time activist. Doesn't mean that you have to join Occupy or the Tea Party. What it does mean is that when you're in that boardroom, you can make a different decision. When you're in that courtroom as a judge, you can make a different decision. When you're admitting someone into the hospital, you can make a different decision. You can ask a different question. Be willing to act bravely, even when it's hard. No, especially when it's hard. And in conclusion, family, I want you all to hope relentlessly. I want you all to hope relentlessly. Over the last 4 years, we've seen the word hope become a slogan. It's become a campaign item. I ain't talking about that kind of hope. I'm not talking about hope that somebody becomes president. I'm not talking about hope on a t-shirt. The hope that I'm talking about is deeper. It's more profound. It's an ethical commitment. It's a political commitment. It's a social commitment. I'm talking about hoping that the world can be different and better. I want to make a distinction here between hope and optimism, though. I ain't talking about optimism. Optimism is the easy part. Optimism lets you off the hook. Optimism is the belief that everything is just going to be all right. Optimism is what y'all did when y'all took that test y'all didn't study for. You know, you get the paper. First you figure out whether it's chemistry or sociology, you don't know. Some of you at that moment get religious. Dear God, please just give me a C. Just give me a C minus. God, please, can I hear a C minus? If you give me a C, God, I promise I won't party for like 3 days. That ain't hope, y'all. That's optimism. Optimism doesn't require an investment. Optimism doesn't require you to leave anything of yourself on the table. No, hope is not saying that the world is just going to be all right, that everything is just going to be all right. Hope is the belief that in spite of the odds, maybe even because of the odds, we continue to fight. Hope says that the world gets better when we struggle. Hope says that if I work in this world, things can be radically different than we ever imagined. Hope is what the great theologian Howard Thurman was talking about when he said, never ever scale down your dreams to the level of that which is your immediate experience. What does that mean? It means you don't have to be prisoner to this bumblebee. I'm from North Philly, I'm sorry. I see, you know. You never have to be prisoner to an event. You never have to be prisoner to a moment. You never have to be prisoner to an experience. You never have to be prisoner to a condition. Hope says 10 words. I do not have to be what I once was. I do not have to be what I once was. We do not have to be what we are now. You might have graduated out of here not magna cum laude or something. You might have graduated from here, thank you, Lordy. I got a 2.2. But you can still graduate and proceed and change the world. You can leave here a different person. Hope is about the belief that we never, ever, ever have to scale down our dreams. No one would have imagined 50 years ago when we started this first commencement that we'd have a crowd this diverse. You see, hope always happens against the odds. There was never ever any evidence 200 years ago that we could end slavery. There was never ever any evidence that we could find workers' rights or women's rights. There was never ever any evidence that we could create a public education system, however flawed, that was able to educate the masses. There's never been any evidence of that, and yet every single time as a nation we overcome the odds and do something different and better. Hope says that it's possible. No one thought 8 years ago that a skinny state senator from Chicago would become president of the United States of America. Nobody imagined that a female governor from Alaska could be the nation's first vice presidential nominee. No one saw that coming. Nobody thought 25 years ago that Prince would be the normal one and Michael Jackson would be the weird one. Nobody saw that coming. I mean, Prince may have. Michael definitely did not. And yet, despite all of those moments, despite all of those conditions, we have been able to always radically transform the world. And now, class of 2012, you're faced with another set of obstacles. You're faced with obstacles that say that we can never, based on the statistics, that we can never create a nation that doesn't punish rather than invest, that doesn't contain and blame rather than invest in love. There are people who say that our nation will always be wounded and fragmented by racism. There are people who say that the next generation of young people will be lazy, that the next generation of young people will be nothing but teen mothers, that the next generation of immigrants will be nothing but social burdens, that the next generation of young black and brown boys will be nothing but products for the state pen. There are statistics that say that we as a nation can never grow and get beyond this Democrat-Republican partisanship. There are people who say that we can never defend or protect our borders from terrorism. There are always people who say what we cannot do. But you are the generation of young people who will listen carefully and remember truthfully and analyze and discern wisely and act bravely, and you will love wastefully. And when you do all of that, you will hope relentlessly in such a way that when they tell us it's impossible, we'll say it's inevitable. When they say it can't happen, we'll say it will happen. When they say it never happened, we'll say it must happen. When they see coming from immigrant ships, we'll see them getting scholarships. When they see kids making babies, we'll see them making change. When they see our boys going to the state pen, we'll see them going to Penn State. And at that moment, we'll be able to change the entire world because we have to. Class of 2012, congratulations. God bless you. I love you.
Thank you, Dr. Hill, for those terrific comments. Today I'd like to recognize our 4-year presidential scholars, Kristen Carmen with a BA in psychology, and Amber Coyne with a BA in biology. The Presidential Scholar Program is a scholarship provided to incoming freshmen who have a cumulative 4-point GPA or higher and continue to maintain that GPA into their sophomore, junior, and senior year. This is a tremendous achievement, and we're very proud of you, and I know your family is also. Please, will you stand up to be recognized to both of you. Congratulations. Academic life has offered you the opportunity to study and learn, to reflect, analyze, and synthesize, to formulate and test hypotheses. As you leave the world of the university and enter upon the course of your careers, you surely will put your theories to the test. Your new world will likely be more demanding and less forgiving. You will be faced with greater challenges and with more questions than solutions. In the real world, we all learn that our decisions and actions have very real consequences, practical and moral, for ourselves and others. What it is certain in this very dynamic world is that there is no shortage of important work for you, the graduates of 2012. What advice can I offer to give you ready? I charge you to live a life of learning. Knowledge is a tool for bettering this world. You have developed skills of acquiring knowledge and critical thinking. Continue to hone your skills, to ask questions and pursue sound answers, to exercise discipline in your work. I charge you to cultivate compassion for others. From compassion comes understanding of our differences and appreciation of our commonalities. Compassion engenders kindness and caring and generosity, the virtues that are the essence of our humanity and the ingredients we need to achieve truly peaceful, collaborative coexistence. I charge you to become involved in community life. To paraphrase Pericles' statement in the Golden Age of Athens, we do not say of people who do not participate in public affairs that they have mind their own business. We say that they have no business at all. We do not achieve alone, we always achieve with others. As citizens, we're obliged to understand the assumptions, ideals, and aspirations of our communities and to develop the desire and the will to participate in their institutions for the common good. I charge you to actively seek and create and teach a life of hope. We must believe that what we think and say and do can make a difference. We're living in a period of turbulence in our economic system, our political institutions, our social values, and throughout the world. In such time, we can easily become dispirited and discouraged. Our greatest challenge is to keep alive the beliefs that a better, more enlightened, more humane world is truly possible. And I charge you to do all of these with a sense of adventure and fun. The faculty of this university has determined that you, the graduates of 2012, are ready to meet your responsibility. I join them, along with the university administration and staff, your family and friends, and our distinguished guests here today in wishing you a rewarding future. The graduates will now be presented and the degrees conferred. I recognize Dr. Ben Ford, Chair of the Faculty.
President Armiñana, it is my privilege to recommend these students who are assembled before you as candidates for degrees under the requirements prescribed by the trustees of the California State University and by the faculty of Sonoma State University. Many of the candidates participating in today's ceremony are preparing for their lifelong careers and are receiving a master's degree or bachelor's degree for their major fields. Some are completing or will soon begin coursework leading to a California teaching or service credential. We're very proud of the contribution you will all make to your respective fields of study. Please join me in wishing all graduates every success in their callings. Candidates for the master's degrees and bachelor's degrees will be presented to you by the Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Andrew Rogers.
President Armaniana, I am pleased to certify that the master's degree candidates here today have completed all the requirements established by the trustees of the California State University and the faculty of Sonoma State University for the degrees of Master of Science in Biology, Master of Science in Computer and Engineering Science, Master of Arts in Counseling, Master of Arts in Cultural Resources Management, Master of Arts in History, Master of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies, Master of Arts in Kinesiology, Master of Science in Nursing. Will all master's degree candidates please rise and remain standing?
Candidates for the master's degree, you have heard the recommendation of the faculty of Sonoma State University. By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I do hereby confer upon each of you who have satisfied the requirements the appropriate degree of Master of Arts and Masters of Science with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereupon pertaining. Congratulations. Please be seated.
President Armaniana, the deans of the schools will now present the candidates for the bachelor's degree. I recognize Dr. Lynn Stauffer, Dean of the School of Science and Technology.
Will all candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Science and Technology please rise? President Armaniana, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Science and Technology, I have the honor to recommend the candidates for bachelor's degrees with majors in biochemistry, biology, chemistry, computer science, earth science, engineering science, geology, interdisciplinary studies, kinesiology, mathematics, nursing, physics, and statistics.
Thank you, Dean Stauffer. Candidates from the School of Science and Technology, you may now be seated. I recognize Dr. Elaine Leader, Dean of the School of Social Sciences.
Will all the candidates for bachelor's degrees in the School of Social Sciences please rise? President Armaniana, on behalf of the faculty of the School of Social Sciences, I have the honor to present the candidates for bachelor's degrees with majors in anthropology, criminology and criminal justice studies, environmental studies and planning, geography, global studies, history, human development, liberal studies, Ukiah and Napa, political science, psychology, sociology, women's and gender studies. Congratulations, all of you.
Thank you, Dean Leader. Candidates from the School of Social Sciences, you may now be seated.
Will all of the candidates for the bachelor's degrees please rise? Candidates for the bachelor's degree, You have heard the recommendation of the faculty of Sonoma State University. By the virtue of the authority vested in me, by the Board of Trustees of the California State University, I do hereby confer upon each of you who has satisfied the requirement the degree of Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Sciences, with all the honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereupon pertaining. Now, to signify that the bachelor's degree has been earned, you may move the tassel of your cap to the left side. Congratulations. Will all the graduates please join me in expressing our appreciation to the faculty and staff of Sonoma State University, whose hard work and dedication have helped you achieve this goal. Thank you. Please be seated. At this time, I would like to congratulate our recipient of the 2012 Excellence in Teaching Award. This award honors a member of the Sonoma State University faculty who has made an outstanding contribution to the education of Sonoma State University students through classroom instruction and other activities that promote student learning. Our recipient today is Dr. Maureen Buckley. Who led the ceremony carrying the university banner. You will learn from her biography on page 14 of your program that Dr. Buckley joined the faculty of Sonoma State University in 1998, teaching courses in marriage and family therapy program, and expanded to school counseling program. In the classroom, she believes counseling is an art and a science, nurturing both elements in her students. Dr. Buckley is committed to enhancing and expanding the educational experience of Sonoma State students. Please join me in expressing our appreciation to Dr. Buckley for her dedication to excellence in teaching. I would now like to take a moment to recognize our recipients of the Staff Excellence Award. These awards are presented to select members of the Sonoma State University staff in recognition of their outstanding service to the university and its students and faculty. Today's recipients are Ms. Sue Bennett from Administration Information Systems Division of the Information Technology. And Mr. Ed Liddell from the University Operations and Engineering in Facilities Management. Their biographies are on page 15 of your program, and Mrs. Bennett, as you saw, is with us in the platform this morning. Thank you, Sue, for your excellent service to Sonoma State University.
Our candidates have devoted great time, energy, and sacrifice in order to earn their degrees. So that each of them may be accorded personal recognition, their names will be read as they approach the platform to receive their diplomas. We request that the audience remain seated during this special moment for our graduates and their families and friends. We also ask that you hold your applause until the end of the presentation so that everyone's name can be heard. On behalf of the faculty and graduates, I'd like to thank Professors Mary Halavey and Suzanne Reboire for reading the names. We will now present the diplomas. I recognize Dr. Melinda Barnard, Vice Provost for Academic Affairs, who will introduce the candidates.
Welcome. Will those receiving the master's degree from the School of Science and Technology please rise? Master degree candidates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Gardner, MA in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Myra Torres, Master of Science in Leadership, Management, and Education.
Catherine Ratliff, Master of Nursing in Education.
Kristen Robinson, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, Management, and Education.
Emily Joy Cortez, Nursing Leadership and Management Education, Masters.
Jessica Hale, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, Management, and Education.
Janelle Christian Nielsen, Master of Arts in Education. Master of Science in Nursing.
Susan Byrne, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, Administration.
Alina Matei, Master of Nursing and Leadership Education Management.
Shelley Tantaw, Master of Science in Nursing.
Amy Hu, Master of Nursing in Education.
Michelle White, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, and Management.
Cornelia Patrell Coleman, MSN in Nursing and Leadership Management.
Sean Upton, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Kay B. Miller, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership and Education.
Emily Baker, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Tinu Javier, Family Nurse Practitioner, a Master's of Nursing in Family Practice.
Diana O'Neill, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Nafjoy Kaur, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Megan Freeman, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Catherine Losada, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Alicia Halloran, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, and Management.
Christelle Bergen, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Kimberly Keenan, Master of Science in Nursing, Leadership, and Administration.
Danielle Ware, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Angela Beebe, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Joy Culp, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Melissa Kahush, Master of Science Nursing.
Portia Cover, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Jeffrey Ott, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Patricia Finelli, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Harika Kupuru, Master of Science in Computer and Engineering Science.
Diane O'Loughlin, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Rose Zhang, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Suki Spilner, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Jagmohan Tiara, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Jordan Prosser Rose, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Joseph Boutier, Master of Arts in Kinesiology.
Hannah Crowell, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner.
Michael Knackard, Master of Science in Kinesiology.
Crystal Thornton, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Misty Stephan, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Audrey Paulson, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Jessie F. Vaughn, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Dawn Cleland, Master of Science in Nursing. Lorena Watson, Master of Science in Nursing, Family Nurse Practitioner. Christine Windsor Colihin, Master of Science in Biology. Candice Gilmore, Master of Science in Biology. Nicole Litzy, Master of Science in Interdisciplinary Studies, Applied Forensic Chemistry.
Congratulations to the recipients of the master's degrees from the School of Science and Technology.
Please be seated. All right, all you young science nerds, it's your turn. Bachelor degree recipients from the School of Science and Technology will now receive their diplomas. Will the school marshals please direct your graduates to come forward and receive their diplomas?
Melody Key.
Sarah Ashley Nichols.
Tracy Beeman.
Nicole Marie Graydon.
Athena Killinger.
Brianna Christine Williams.
Susanna Naramore.
Stevie Jean Tabret.
Standy Stanson.
Alyssa Marie Morgan.
Molly Harris.
Natalie Forsyth.
Catherine McCorker.
Kayla Parker.
Talitha Urban.
Kelsey Burlington.
Danielle Putnian.
Whitney McMicking.
Jocelyn Newark.
Brittany Vicini.
Megan Rose Darrow.
Margaret Marshall.
Caitlin Kinsella Finley.
Marlene Lundy.
Jackie Potter.
Caitlin Elise Gross.
Jill Panoski.
Heidi Holmquist.
Samantha Lynn Westthorpe.
Abraham Menayer.
Elaine Francis Gallagher.
Callie Long.
Ashley Alejandra Gonzalez.
Jennifer Rose Pitkin.
Kupram Hagos.
Kelly Clark.
Annie Rose Pedler.
Amanda Louise Dean.
Ashley Holtz.
Allison Catherine Appling.
Carly McCready.
Caitlin Marie Morgan.
Megan Nicole O'Day.
Nicole Venezia.
Kristen Pedrazi.
Bina Patel.
Adam Carmely.
Natalie Venezia.
Jason Villagiante.
Michelle Rush.
David Christopher Sally.
Jacqueline Baumsteiger.
Chase Charles Cronick.
Kelly Christine McNeil.
Caitlin Marin.
Rebecca Lynn Sackman.
Jake Sutherland Lynch.
Kaylee Lucerne Huff.
Matthew Cup.
Rachel Golly.
Jacob Kornblue.
Rachel Silva.
Carlos Jones Jr.
Kevin LaBelle.
Noel Spence.
Michael Palermo.
Taekwon Jean.
Emily Tomsick.
Deborah Aquila.
Tanya Shalinsky.
Marianne Meyer.
Brittany Bailey.
Megan L. Hoover.
Megan Joy Mullen.
Elaine Timone.
Megan Nawatha Smith.
Rose Herenio.
Brianna Marie Houlihan.
Catherine Molvik.
David Kamari.
Camden Cook.
Rachel Elizabeth Hamilton.
Cynthia Cisneros.
Ryan Wayne Rebby.
Henry Lee.
Lauren Drygas.
Heidi Lee Van de Waal.
Christine Mendoza.
William Alex Dyer.
Kimberly Marie Pisano.
Garrett Lee Wilson.
Brittany Hawk.
Brittany Anderson.
Madison Altendorf.
Brittany Melissa Barba.
Aaron Stovall.
Nicole Sprinkling.
Taylor Lehane.
Renee Kincaid.
Allison Hennington.
Chung Harf.
Kristen Montanari.
Casey Barnes.
Jordan Ritchie.
Matthew Fontana.
Curtis Champlin.
Christopher Campbell.
Elizabeth Hendricks.
Regina Rackard.
Jamie Kogel.
Chris French.
Milenko Duganzik.
Yuna Sakoma.
Kristen Danielle Johnson.
Kelly Ann Marie Masterson.
Taylor Elaine Common.
Alisa Green.
Laura Jean Minkle.
Kellyanne Minarik.
Kelly Ray Kinsella.
Wendy Ann St. John.
Graciela Castellanos Perez.
Laura Fromuth.
Danielle Lowe.
Caitlin Rose Rugoni.
Kayla Ann Ledford.
Lauren Greenwood.
Matt Moriarty.
Kenny Dujardin.
Ashley Arnott.
Jordan Embry.
Jacqueline Davey.
Beatrice Romero Cotrina.
Ashley Martin.
Meredith Louise Pearson.
Amanda Jean Myers.
Christy Bledsoe.
Jason Ray Boyle.
Amber Coy.
Karina Sofia Gonzalez.
Vanessa O'Sullivan.
Dana Marie Pareto.
May Giaguao.
Corey Martin Sunday.
Dajo Quinn.
Sarah Ihara.
Ellen Marie Gavaza.
Michael Partone.
Brendan Phillips.
Brandon Head.
Melissa Rakestraw.
Laura Roberts.
Beam Boy.
Tracy Cochran.
Amy Parr.
Jessica Abling.
Samantha Leigh Bergstrom.
Alyssa Louise Conway.
Melissa Ann Calvin.
Sarah Schaefer.
Cynthia Toll.
Hannah Winkler.
Daniel Athey.
Melissa Seamer.
Kevin Dynas.
Melissa Ann Lira.
Brian Wortman.
Alex Fleischman.
John Bethencourt.
Adam Pietro.
Ryan Barker.
Jacob Peters.
Lian Nguyen.
Casey Hotman.
Sally Sarah Angelo Curi.
Valerie Yotsuya,
Judith Kathleen Tubman,
Giancarlo James Whitaker,
Daniel De Paulo,
Josephine Esperanza Warren,
Brooks Woolley,
Scott Burgum,
Savannah Valdez,
Randy Coates,
Alexander Dove, Grayson Henry,
Clara Rickabal,
Matthew Stephen Barrow,
Nika Ume,
Bin Ruenhagen,
Chelsea Clyde Brockway,
Susan Smith Leak,
Christine Marie Ward,
Amy Ware,
Michael Nicholas,
Ashley Campbell,
Jared Faley,
Carissa Walker,
Christian Alfaro,
Young Fanchi,
Bryce Terrell,
Philip Lucid,
Crystal Ewan,
Michael Andrade King,
Kaylee Miller,
Christopher Wineland,
Rebecca Lynn Salvemini,
Matt Carrier,
Joshua Stortz,
Leslie Prince,
Brooks Hanley,
Patrick Stephen Eibold,
Samuel Briggs,
Eric Brewer,
Athena McGuire,
Charles Ryan Semple,
Trevor Manger,
Rhonda Paisa,
Dana Rogers,
Nico Ledesma,
Nicholas Steele,
Emmanuel Lopez Perez,
Justin Timothy Ray,
Noel Vance,
Jeremy Michael Ray,
Susana Ordaz,
Lauren Hubbard,
Maritza Ordaz,
Brittany Teresa French,
Pooja Patel,
Zohar Soffer,
Michael Masayuki Ueno,
Catherine Brinch,
Nadia Lopez,
Diana Robles,
Leanne Rochelle Strond,
Maria Morera,
Amanda Marie McDonald,
Karina Scary,
Rosemary Merecinos,
Michael Carlson,
Tracy Riddell,
Kevin Roberts,
William Withrow,
Sarah Rosenthal,
Jamie Nicole Bywater,
Ellen Galanti,
Nicole Marie Alderete, Ryan Charles Wanamaker, Sarah Ronis, Brian McWilliams,
Congratulations to the recipients of bachelor degrees from the School of Science and Technology. Now, will those receiving master's degrees from the School of Social Science please rise? Master degree candidates, please come forward to receive your diplomas.
Paul Engel, MA in Cultural Resources Management,
Kimberly Gruenhagen, Master of Arts in Counseling,
Cassidy D. Baker, Master of Arts in Cultural Resources Management.
Sandra Alvarez, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Sandra Tucker, Master of Arts in Counseling, a marriage and family therapist.
Matthew Brendan Schmitz, Master of Arts in Counseling.
George William Brownlee, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Sonle Vorachok, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Jessica Ruth Lovera, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Juan Antonio Joregi, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Jessie Marlene Funes McDonald, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Lauren Moore, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Mooney Pearl, Masters in Public Administration.
Carmen Wandel, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Meredith Emery, Master in Public Administration.
Brittany Young, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Karen Newman Shimuzu, Master of Public Administration.
Catherine Keating, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Becky Filabong, Master of Public Administration.
Catherine Rarasich, Master of Arts in History.
Ashley Amador, Master in Public Administration.
Kavita Goldowitz, Master of Arts in Counseling Psychology.
Samantha Brown, Masters in Public Administration.
Jennifer Hopkins, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Hillary Throlin, Master of Public Administration.
Connie Von Arks, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Michelle Garcilaso, Master of Public Administration.
John Schneider, Master of Arts in Counseling.
William Wysocki, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Elise Dash, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Julie Waters, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Tasha Teeter, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Claire McGuire, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Erin Reed, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Nicole Garces, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Chelsea Sloan, Master of Arts in Counseling.
Natalie Makardish, Master of Arts in Psychology.
Katrina Dill, Master of Arts in Community Counseling.
Anna Field Pierre, Master of Arts in Psychology.
Jessica Doe, Master of Arts in Community Counseling.
Biasha Terry Hunter, Master of Arts in Psychology.
Congratulations to the recipients of master's degrees from the School of Social Science. Please be seated. All right, all you young social activists, it's your turn. Bachelor degree recipients from the School of Social Sciences will now receive their diplomas. Will the school marshals please direct your graduates to come forward and receive their diplomas?
Okay. Andrew Concilio.
Deidre Tubb.
Brian Rangel.
Aaron Newton.
Logan Greenwood.
Samantha Sack.
Grace Catherine Hoffenbach.
Andrea Nicole Eberly.
Jennifer Luann Lamperit.
Ashley Biorgi.
Eric Uarte.
Victoria Lynn Setting.
Diamante Denif Ruidas Ortiz.
Laura Long.
Juan Jesus Torres.
Danielle Maidenbauer,
Rose McMacklin,
Taylor Foxworthy,
Brian Sailors,
Kelly McDaniel,
Kia Elizabeth Colderup Lane,
Jeff Young,
Jessica Petrucci,
Julian Jolivet,
Janisha Moore Harris,
Sean Bradford Zirkle,
Joe Glazier,
Sean Matthew Richards,
Giovanni Albertoli,
JJ Sotomayor,
Kathy Havens,
John George,
Grant Johnner,
Aaron Nunez,
Samantha Hall,
Marissa Solari,
Brooke Moore,
Sari Jacobson,
Vanessa Gowett,
Michelle Schumacher,
Taylor Falbesener,
Daniel Mello,
Nate Willis,
Michelle Gerardo,
Samuel Wallach,
Jennifer Deloach,
Ethan Brown,
Alyssa Hara,
Kyle Cakebread,
Michelle Harley,
Matthew Langley,
Addison Kahn,
Chelsea Smith,
Jennifer Christine Danielson,
Rachel Smith,
Nicole Marie Heron,
Richie Alcantara,
Genevieve House,
Gabriela Cervantes Powell,
Nicole Caesar,
Catherine Key,
Amelia Shifkins,
Cynthia Melissa Solano,
Marissa Catherine Johnson,
Ellen O'Hare,
Marjorie Cutie,
Heather Dukes,
Emily Nicole Sparks,
Stephanie Mason,
Chase Andrew,
Vanessa Hernandez,
Alex Blaylock,
Anthony Raitano,
Caitlin Vargas,
Philip Cohen,
Melissa Ann Miranda,
Amanda Artru,
Lauren Ashley Shepard,
Tara Dryden,
Marissa Christine Coughlin,
Jenny Eubank,
Melissa Marie Can,
Michael Kevin Riley Jr.,
Janet Carrasco Viruel,
Judith Cobert,
Mary Ann Moan,
Albert Castellon,
Ben Harbin,
Jenna Lundgren,
Ryan Paul Knutson,
Letta Froley,
Stephanie Schmidt,
Jacqueline Grimaldi,
Caitlin Kleppel,
Casey Coble,
Alina Conway,
Shalane Beavers,
Megan Madison,
Jamie B.,
Erin Hope Riley,
Michelle Brianna Fielder,
Lauren Peavy,
Laura and Alyssa Mowry,
Tyler Noland,
Brittany Humanoff,
Rebecca Peterson,
Troy Pascianziani,
Melissa Marie Jones,
Christian L. Laird,
Noelle Christine Fletcher,
Ashley Dophy,
Christine Annalise Kuhn,
Whitney McClellan,
Michelle Elisa Cushing,
Paige Reinholdson,
Kevin Guillen,
Margaret Lawson,
Drew Carlson,
Alexandra Anker,
Tracy A. Pettinger,
Melanie Sayers,
Denise Barber,
Heather Christine Bruner,
Susan Bushnell,
Katie Erin Kelfie,
Alma Ayala Aguilar,
Sarah Cullenbarn,
Karen Leland,
Jolyn Chappell,
Natalie Shepard,
Trevor Moan,
Samantha McLeod,
Sophia Dork,
Marcia Locatelli,
Amanda Elizabeth Smith,
Punya Droz,
Cody Young,
Brian Williams, Jr.
Philip Edishami,
Jose Delgado.
Andrew Maxwell,
Susan Emil.
Erica Hurtado,
Troy Cullison.
Noemi Lopez,
Tim Frost.
Andrew Betancourt,
Blake Goranson.
Peyton McGinnis,
Brittany Moore.
Kyle Altomare,
Kathleen Coffey.
Jonathan Davis,
Stephanie Milsom.
Gil Sanchez,
Natisha Chant.
Cameron Cook,
Vanessa Lopez.
Melanie Lyon Prescott,
Christy Howard.
Jed Hale,
Catherine Clemmy Lamb.
Matthew Austin Diefer,
Consuelo Ruiz.
Sofia Garcia,
Brianna Salazar.
Dustin Gregory,
Juliana Uloa.
Vincent Ayala,
Sarah Kloss.
Griffin Taylor,
Pablo Jimenez.
Samuel Wade Anthony,
Paige Lauer.
Kelly Michael Gonzalez,
Catherine Valstecki.
Noah Oftendal,
Sarah Ketchum.
Mark Oliva,
Chelsea Waters.
Blake Winsler,
Erica Elaine Fritz.
Katie Mitch Mitchell,
Jenna Marie Green.
Morgan Womack,
Nicole Elizabeth Arieta.
Taylor Davis,
Sam Correa.
Jessica Nicole Butterini,
Miley Lynn Guadarrama.
Elizabeth Ann Solomon,
Emily Moody.
Blake Buchanan,
Bailey Freitas.
Jesse Costin,
Brett Robert.
Michael Goen,
Norma Santiago.
Katie Barrientos,
Jolie Loboto de Faria.
Brenda Ortega Corona,
Andrew Thiel.
Heather Michelle Dasher,
Jeremy Porter.
Andrea Farias,
Skylar Lewis.
Jennifer Nephew,
Danielle Patricia Frisk.
Grace Kobolinski,
Brianna Lynn Kespel.
Lindsay Weiss,
Denise Dennington.
Diana Gutierrez,
Shakti Julieta Madrigal.
Erica Verde,
Philip Michael Mendelson.
Daniel Lair,
Erin Kathleen Moore.
Benjamin Henson,
Kevin Michael Dooley.
Taylor Davis,
Constance Gibson.
Kristen Boyd,
Catherine Quilici.
Stephanie Siebel,
Dean Carvalho.
Jennifer Ann DeArmit,
John Stephen Green.
Chelsea Lynn Recker,
Sean Ainsworth.
Allison Catherine Heiberger,
Stephen Squires.
Joshua Ashley Miller,
Max Scott Ivy.
Susan Lynn Winters,
Adam Daniel Brownrout.
Grant Kimmerlin,
Nicole Colby.
Paul Phillips,
Tracy Gilmore.
Erica Flugard Haley,
Sam Bergman.
Lauren Gleason,
Jamie Eichman.
Brenda Sevilla,
Brianna Marie Hammonds.
Audrina Smith,
Lindsay Marie Lytle.
Kaylee Novgorod,
Kayala Abigail Peterson.
Danielle Mitsuji,
Amanda Vanover.
Mike White,
Kendall Batiste.
Alyssa Katrina Coos,
Andrew Ball.
Victoria Lee Polk,
Ricardo Sandoval,
Michelle Christine Romero,
Valerie Avalon,
Ariel Grace Hames,
Jessica Farmer,
Kathleen Francis Hedges,
Shayna Fields,
Monica Danielle Cosa,
Holly Brown,
Brittany Dawn Topol,
Carrie Mungle,
Jonathan Gerald Broida,
Fiorella Silva,
Lucas Davidson Sprague,
Catherine Ross,
Holly Noseworthy,
Jeffrey M. Wynn,
Amy Branch,
Jacqueline Besordi,
Victoria Ferrari,
Samantha Ray Thomas,
Elizabeth Gilbert,
Samantha Van Gant,
Sonny Ellis,
Leslie Knoll,
Julie McGinty,
Taylor Mitchell,
Megan Bowl,
Brent McDowell,
Amanda Levy,
Nicole Michelle Martindale,
Emily Kerr,
Danielle Francine Martinez,
Kristen Hip,
Ellen Elizabeth Hill,
Camille Bergen,
Landon Coffey,
Sarah Phillips,
Holly Ann Kaufman,
Danielle Nicole Smith,
Benjamin Sullivan,
Allison Marie Winnett,
Ryan Michael Whalen,
Gina Savieri,
Alexander Powell,
Jessica Balomini,
Michelle Ustles,
Tiffany Lee Watson,
Maya Roger,
Diego Jimenez Gobar,
Fiona Day Cofer,
Craig Sakala,
Alfred Giuseppe Musetti III,
Sandy Lynn McDonald,
Yvette Vidrio,
Leandra Louise Neely,
Diana Elizabeth Cruz,
Cody James Katzner,
Marissa McKellity,
congratulations, Robert Curran,
Annie Toe,
Stephen Ross Elliott,
Sarah Carpenter,
Molly Platts,
Erica Heller,
Stephanie Deachens,
Erica Spencer,
Melanie Wyman,
Tamara,
Madeline Wyman,
Tamara Goldsmith,
Erin Marie Foster,
Rachel Catherine Knight,
Sasha Fuller,
Ashley Wood,
April Lang,
Ashley Nicole Cruz,
Amanda Cream,
Stephanie Ochenang,
Amanda Lynn Woods,
Caitlin Marie Caruso,
Shante Kroll,
Julie Marie Houston,
Evan Ashworth,
Ruby Castillo,
Louis Pomerantz,
Catherine Nicole Deasy,
Courtney Christine Faber,
Michelle Zarate,
Lauren Elizabeth Tolley,
Mackenzie Taylor Caswell,
Mary Beth Glisson,
Kayla Weiss,
Amber Rose Steen,
Jocelyn Leatherman,
Nicole Leshin,
Meg Carlucci York,
Angelina Samily Sales,
Crystal England,
Yesenia Chavez,
Stephanie Morris,
Robin Suslo,
Andrew Burnt,
Fiona Foster,
Bobby Dow,
Nicole Gerken,
Greg Ginsberg,
Melissa Garcia,
Michaela Blakey,
Jenna Mook,
Lisa Bushway,
Thomas Espe,
Garrett Bordley,
Gian Sino,
Nicole Burke,
Jason DeBrovner,
Christine Peterson,
Brian Matthew Selke,
Brittany Morgan,
Corrine Rose Evanoff,
Kathleen McLaughlin,
Berkeley Alexis Anderson Toth,
Sarah Bruno,
Sarah Bortman,
Ryan Connolly,
Isabel Kirksey,
Erica Renee Espinoza.
Kristen Carmen.
Emerald Delane Hamilton.
James Harrison Woodward.
Deborah Paco.
Stephen Redding.
Lauren Reddick.
Priscilla Banks.
Jessica Reddick.
Karen Neal.
Amanda Oliver.
Kai Grunfeld Roy.
Sarah Ballard.
Frank Korensic.
Adriana Cortez.
Christopher Lyons.
Kayla Angela Pirano.
Michael Gatheres.
Ronnie Nicole Pepper.
Carla Christina Ngara.
Hannah Gundeed.
Margaret Lawrence.
Cheryl Fonseca.
Ashley Roberts.
Jasmine Brody.
Carolyn Glanton.
Jamie Ray Burnside.
Paula Smith.
Erica Chavez.
Mariana Flores Luna.
Andrew A. Hall.
Diana Grace Baker.
Taylor Marie Boehm.
Josh Crockett.
John Dagey.
Amy Catherine Mattia.
Kristen Luno.
Nina Lynn Jacobson.
Jamie Lynn Henry.
Corinna Marie Gilbert.
April Nicole Williamson.
Rachel Lee Beauchamp.
Sarah Caitlin Schwantz.
Danielle Ornelas.
Damiano Giuseppe Impastato Jr.
Emmanuel Barca.
Michael Jones.
Acacia Downer.
Haley Shoemaker.
Angeles Esparta.
Laura Hint.
Amanda Dominguez.
Kirsten Martinez.
Reina Nava.
Nicholas Lachaw.
Milagro Corona.
David Ortiz Avila.
Juan Carlos Rodriguez.
Jeremy Arroyo.
Oscar Salinas.
Andrew Wester.
Emmanuel Rodriguez.
Carissa Ann Westfall.
Mitchell Gutierrez.
Megan Meter.
Kevin Michael Brazil.
Aaron Teitelbaum.
Nicholas Scott Berterta.
Michaela Decker.
John Holdsworth.
Robert Block.
Lauren Ashley McNamara.
Angelina Gutierrez.
Julie Craig.
Mallory Davis.
Daniel Björndal.
Holly Margaret Cattle.
Samuel Clayton Hall.
Dane Steffi.
Stuart Kresge.
Amy McLaughlin.
Courtney Michelle Beckham.
Becca Hughes.
Rita Wilson.
Alina Huff.
Alex Clark.
Kevin Radel.
Karen Loeffler.
Adam Carlson.
Anna Marie Ibarra.
Megan Elizabeth Wilson.
Stephanie Mendez.
Maggie Rudin.
Caitlin Cotton.
Kirby Ann Rogers.
Elizabeth Hardcastle.
Daniel Alvarez.
Danielle Vitorello.
David Neff.
Shannon Evans and a young Mr. Evans.
Melissa McGovern.
Megan Nicole Thomas.
Christina Durham.
Jacqueline Michelle Avila.
Danielle Caballero.
Stacey Kathleen Chatfield.
Taylor M. Hampton.
Deanna Roman.
Axel Zeiderfeld.
Lindsay Lautrup.
Jennifer Slight.
Okay, and then over this way. There you go. Benjamin Peters.
Alexis Marie Kozlowski.
Amanda Robinson.
Camille Victoria Novello.
Sarah Crawford.
Jenna Rose Lorenzo.
Richard Dos Santos.
Shannon Kerr.
Maria Elizabeth Ortelli,
Alma Maciel,
Julie Kathleen Pruitt,
Christopher Mullins,
Thomas Mendel,
Lupe Laguna,
Jessica Roldans,
Christopher Meyer,
Crystal Maria Dueñas,
Tempest Shansky,
Jake Newman,
Sarah Gannis,
Blake Bordizo,
Nadja Grace Quiroz,
Monica Dimson,
Kamala Dion,
Jeffrey Stephen Johnson,
Elizabeth Heermans,
Timothy Scott,
Andre Charles White,
Carissa Michelle Green,
Derek Kupel,
Catherine Ann Temple,
Brittany Gorman,
Hannah Elizabeth Schmidt,
Kyle Diedrich,
Rebecca Joy Alger,
Pedro Damian Perez Mora,
Cassandra Trimnell Ehrlich,
Avi Jingan,
Laura Ann Benelik, Carissa Terry, Diego Lorenzo Ortiz, Anna Britt Schleffler, Kendall Shefflin,
Congratulations to all of our graduates. You may now be seated. It's my pleasure now to introduce our student Rachel Dethridge to lead us as we sing the Sonoma State Hymn. You'll find words to the hymn on the last page of your program. Thank you, Rachel, for that beautiful performance. The Sonoma State Hymn has been with us since the early 1960s. At this point in the ceremony, I want to remind you that the schools of Science and Technology and Social Sciences are hosting receptions for their graduates and their families immediately following the commencement ceremony. Locations of the receptions are listed in the map in your program, and we hope you'll join us at the receptions on this very special day as we salute our graduates and celebrate their accomplishments. We've now come to the part of the ceremony known as the Recessional. This tradition provides us, the faculty, with an opportunity to formally greet and congratulate the graduating students. Therefore, we request that the audience please remain seated until all graduates have left the commencement area. The Recessional will terminate in the central campus quad out that way, and we appreciate your patience and your cooperation during the Recessional. Will the banner carriers please take up their banners? Will the platform party, the faculty, and the graduates please stand?